Weather for Weather Geeks is back here on this Monday evening. You know, kind of like when we had the political conventions earlier in the summer. We're heading into a stretch here with the Olympics where my time on TV is limited because of our Olympic coverage. The 11 o'clock news goes on late during the newscast because of some of the extra Olympics-related things we have. Weather gets trimmed a little bit, especially if the weather's quiet. So this is my video to get all the good stuff out there, and we call it Weather for Weather Geeks. We do this Monday through Friday. If you're new to this, whether you're a weather geek or whether you just need a much more detailed forecast than you'll ever get from a lousy weather app, or even in a 3-minute weathercast, this video can be really useful to you, I think. Let's do a quick review of the first 8 days of the month. Every day has been above average, with highs in the 80s. We're at 2.3 degrees above average for the month so far. 85 was the high today locally, 86 in Cleveland, 85 degrees in Pittsburgh. About 4 degrees above the average for those highs today. It was warm, it was sunny, but it was not humid. We had dew points mostly in the 50s today. It felt nice outside. It's a beautiful evening this evening with these dew points still in the 50s, but this is the last time I'm going to talk about very comfortable air for a while as the humidity gets set to crank up as we head into midweek. Here's a look at the current dew points across the region. Ohio and western PA still in pretty good shape, but the warm front's off to our south and west, and south and west of that warm front, the dew points are spiking into the 60s, and this front is indeed heading east and will push into the valley as we head into our Tuesday. In the meantime, down along the Gulf Coast, interesting system here, parked just off the coast of Florida, and thankfully is where it is and not 50 miles east, because there would be horrendous flooding in Florida otherwise. This has produced just amazing amounts of rain over the water over the last couple of days. Check out these radar estimates where you see these blue colors, kind of that teal, into the hotter pink. Yeah, this is 20 inches worth of rain in the last couple of days. Again, thankfully, over the water, although there have been some issues with some heavy rain in parts of Florida, the northern part of the state. This, generally speaking, has been an ocean storm so far, but I do think the flood threat will transition up into the I-10 corridor from Florida over towards Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana over the next few days. What does this mean for our weather? Well, I do think eventually this system is going to start migrating north in a weakened state. It'll get kind of absorbed into the jet stream, but it will certainly increase the moisture across our region later on this week and into the weekend. Back here in the near term, clear and calm tonight, no problems. High pressure slides to the east tomorrow. That allows our warm front to swing through. And you'll notice the change tomorrow, much more humid. During the afternoon and evening, I don't think there's going to be a lot, but there could be a spotty shower or a thunderstorm tomorrow afternoon and evening. A little disturbance aloft will actually produce a higher risk of some showers and storms tomorrow night into the overnight. This is 2, 3 in the morning, Wednesday morning. That's probably actually our best chance to get wet over the next 36 hours. Wednesday afternoon and evening, again, this is going to be real hit or miss or spotty. Not everyone will get wet, but some places could get a slow-moving tropical downpour. This is going to be another thing to watch out for. There's going to be so much moisture in the atmosphere and not a lot of wind aloft to steer these things around. So even though there may not be a lot of them, where there are some tropical downpours, we'll have to watch for some flash flooding issues. Not only Wednesday, but probably again Thursday. The model's not showing much here. I don't think there's a ton, but there will be real spotty activity, particularly in the afternoon on Thursday. Backing up to Tuesday, hour-by-hour breakdown of the rain chances tomorrow. I think they kind of peak around 30% in the afternoon, but notice I've got a 40% by 9 p.m., and that probably goes up to 60 or 70% as we head into Tuesday night. All right, let's talk about the dew points. Here they go tomorrow, back into the upper 60s, perhaps even close to 70 before the day is through. It's going to be a very, very noticeable change for your Tuesday. If you think tomorrow is gross, wait till Wednesday. Our RPM model here is spitting out dew points in the mid-70s on Wednesday. And with air temperatures Wednesday in the mid-80s, it's going to feel like 90 or so. This will be some serious, a boost given from the dew points in terms of the heat index. Dehumidifiers in everybody's basements will be going full blast with this very, very tropical air mass that's going to set up shop. And look how consistent this is going to be. These dew points could stay elevated in the upper 60s and lower 70s right through the weekend, and maybe even into Monday as well. This is the European model these numbers are based off of. The GFS tries to dry us out a little faster early next week, but through the weekend at the very least, it's going to be very, very soupy. All right, that Gulf Coast low, again, kind of gets absorbed in the flow and really juices up the atmosphere later this week into the weekend. And the details have yet to be ironed out, certainly. We won't have, a great grasp of the details for a few more days, but the potential is there that there's going to be a fair amount of rain somewhere in the region late this week, into the weekend, perhaps into Monday as well. Even if there's not a lot of rain and, we're not dealing with flooding problems, even if we don't have that, I think we still have the chance to see some drought-denting rains here, and that's exactly what we need. We don't want the flooding, we don't want severe weather or anything like that, but some drought-denting rains, I think that's looking increasingly likely, even though we don't know the timing and exact amounts just yet. Our two longer-range or medium-range models, the GFS, which is the American model, and the European model, are kind of converging right around 2 3/4 to 3 inches worth of rain between now and next Monday. These numbers, of course, will be subject to change, but I think that's reasonable at this point to expect over the next week an average of 2 3 inches worth of rain. I hope it's somewhere in that range. I hope some places don't get 5 or 6 and there's flooding problems. 2 3 inches worth of rain spread out over several days, taking us into early next week, would be just what the doctor ordered for our moderate drought across the region. So, of course, we'll have much more on this throughout the week as more details on the timing and amounts become, a little clearer. So look for that in future editions of Weather for Weather Geeks. I'll see you tonight after our Olympic coverage. We go on probably at about midnight, so between now and then, I'll be highly caffeinated. Have a great Monday night. I'll see you back here on Tuesday.